Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Mexico City Diablos and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we close out Week 7 with a good Monday night matchup between the Mexico City Diablos and the San Francisco 49ers. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now the man from nearby Stanford, Christian McCaffrey. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there'll be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They'll try the air now with Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And this will be incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off-kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
3rd and long, it's Newton. He'll rifle this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On first down, this is McCaffrey. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw on second down is Newton. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
McCaffrey. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Sony Michel, his first carry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here we go, here we go. Hey, watch 28.
On second down, Michel. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They go play action here on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Back to throw, Newton. He may try and run for this. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
He's going to rifle one deep left. That's caught inside the 20. Give him 30 yards there. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Here's Newton. Dancing to his left. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. Here's Newton. Being chased out left. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. But right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. A very solid gain of 27.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Now Newton. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Here's McCaffrey. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here we go. Let's rock now. Ready? Ready?
There's Newton now on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down.
Face mask. Defense.
They'll give him the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Newton now to throw. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this will be taken at the 13. A little juke, and now running right through it. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start.
He's got a man, complete, 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big play there. 62 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On second down, McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be third down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
The offense on third down tonight, no problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. Here it's 3rd and 2. Newton to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Here we go.
A give. This is Michelle. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Haynes. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain. But he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them. And if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So it's a good job by getting him taken care of, and now they can move forward.
On second down, here's Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The reception good for 7. It's third down. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on first down. Rolling to his right. And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On second down, here's Newton. Shakes off the sack. He's going to let this one go deep. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Love his pocket awareness, able to slip out of the sack. But once you take your eyes off the receivers, once your eyes come down and you see the rush, hard to get back downfield and find an open target. Fortunate. That one just wound up as an incomplete pass.
Newton now to throw. Buying time to his left. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Come on. Hey.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction. On second and 10, Newton. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The offense on third down tonight, they haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This is third and 10. Again, Newton. And that will be incomplete as well.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Black 80.
On the handoff, it's Michel. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night, as we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
20. 80.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Here we go. 80.
Following the penalty, Michel. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
20. 80.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
yeah.
we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Newton on first down. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And this is going to be 49er football.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Everyone's got four down. 180, 120.
Again, it's Michel. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Here's Mack. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them. And they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And McManus able to put it through. And that drops the deficit from 28 to 25. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. Oh, look at that. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL and picking up first downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it?
2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. This is McCaffrey. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Newton. And Ingram hauls it in. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
To throw is Newton. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch that end, tight end's right. Tight end's right. We're gonna set. 180. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down. Gun.
Out of the gun, Newton. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff looking right. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And this offense is running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they worked their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
120, 180.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their offense.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency,
21.
Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the 49ers get a score closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But you know, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together, and I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Dances by him. Now he opts for the spin. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Gun. Hey. Hey. Stay at home.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Got his target, Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Hey.
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Hey.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey. Switch. Great. Hey.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll try the air now with Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Escapes the sack. Just keeping the play alive. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
That's it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Black 80! Black 80!
Garoppolo on 1st down. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now we'll carry from back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Garoppolo looks to throw. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
He's second in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Haynes. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. They go play action here on first down. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for our visitors, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's yet another loss as they've started out now 0-7. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.